Have you done anything yet? Isn't that your second 1,000-piece puzzle set? I don't want you to fill this time with regret, so why don't you just go find something to read? Or maybe plant a few seeds? I don't want you to turn on your TV thinking, hey, is this I Love Lucy? No, it's the Bar for Bar Weekly. It's the week of March 27th, 2020. It's been slow. There's really not much to talk about, so I'm going to just run through things. The first bit of news, I guess. Remember when The Life of Pablo came out? And there was all this controversy around Kanye's famous track, where he was just kind of name-dropping Taylor Swift. And there was some sort of commotion about it. And then Kim came with the audio that she okayed everything. So apparently that was edited. Just, I guess last week now, by Saturday, it, like a whole 30 minutes conversation with Kanye and Taylor Swift was leaked. And, I mean, it kind of clears some things up where she probably wasn't that into the idea. But also, it's been like, what, 4 or 5 years? I don't care anymore. Like, I guess people really have nothing better to do in quarantine than to resurface old beefs or something. Aside from that, so Gambino dropped his album project, whatever the hell it is, titled 03/15/20, which was the same date that he posted that stream of his album. So that came out on Sunday. I enjoyed it, but I mean, just listened to it a couple times. It's kind of cool because the track lists are separated by the timestamp. So I don't really know if this is actually meant to be a full album or not. Regarding the stream, though, apparently the reason for that was so Childish Gambino can release it under Donald Glover, but RCA didn't like that. So that's why if you still go to donaldgloverpresents.com, you'll see it listed under Donald Glover. But if you go on any streaming site, it'll still say Spotify. I guess he just leaked it under that just to kind of make people just assume that's what he's going by now. Or maybe it's just to like convince RCA to let him use his actual name. Who knows? Dr. Dre's The Chronic has now entered the Library of Congress. It's a pretty big deal because it's probably one of the most important West Coast albums, if not one of the most important hip-hop albums, period. It's only like the 10th one in there, though. The other notable ones were The Blueprint, Straight Outta Compton, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and a few others. I don't have the list in front of me. But this is a pretty big deal. Hopefully this means more exposure. But it's also just the Library of Congress who really goes looking through there. It's nice to see some sort of recognition, though. It's also kind of funny because NWA and like all that was, people were trying to stop the purchase and sales of it. But now, and I mean, obviously Straight Outta Compton's already in there, but Dr. Dre's in there. It's just a very interesting thing to think about. Regarding the Rona, Slim Thug and Scarface have both reported that they have it. Hopefully they make a quick and speedy recovery, because they're two of the most important people in Houston right now. 2 Chainz also announced today that Collar Grove 2, which is going to be his second collab album with Lil Wayne, should be dropping this year. We don't know when yet, but 2 Chainz is staying busy. And the final bit of news today, or this week, Pusha T did a Discord AMA earlier this week. An AMA is an Ask Me Anything, if you aren't aware. And in that discussion, he was asked about some projects coming up. Apparently he has 3 projects in the works. One with Madlib, which he apparently has just hard drives full of tracks from Madlib. And another one that he's working with Tyler on. And then the third one he didn't really mention anything about. Definitely excited for the 2 that he's announced though, because Madlib has definitely shown that he doesn't have to make trap beats for these like coke rappers, like based off of like Bandana and Pinata. He can, he doesn't have to though. And Pusha T definitely could he could probably rap on anything at this point. And the Tyler one's a little more interesting because he also mentioned he's trying to get him to be more aggressive and do more rap on it. So, I mean, that's a Tyler we haven't seen in a while, so that'd be fun. We'll see though. Push is also pretty notorious for saying that he's doing something and then just never actually releasing it. On to albums that came out. Party Next Door finally dropped Party Mobile. It was cool. Rihanna finally let him out. Skepta, Chip, and Young Ads dropped Insomnia. That one was a fun listen, actually. All these I've only listened to like once, so I may or may not actually talk about them later. Joyner Lucas finally dropped ADHD with a whole 4 new tracks that we haven't heard yet. Young Jeezy, dropped 2020 Pyrex Vision, and Knowledge dropped his beat tape 1988. Oh, also, Run the Jewels dropped 2 tracks. One was titled Ooh La La, and the other one was Yankee and the Brave. So these are the first 2 tracks from Run the Jewels 4. And if they're anything to go by, whenever Run the Jewels 4 comes out, it's going to be a fun ride. Well, that's about all I got. I have a lot of pages open. Please remember to do all the normal YouTube things. Also, give me more stuff to talk about, I guess. I'll probably do a review next week also. Also, check out the reviews that I've done. I did one for J Electronic this week and Royce to 5'9" last week. That's all I got.